and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you and getting into our paycheck 1 of December. I have to do a budget. If I don't, I will lose track of how much is coming in and what's going out, and then I'll overspend and mess things up. So I don't want to do that. So let's run the numbers and let's figure out what's going to happen. This is my monthly calendar that tells me what's going to happen in paycheck 1 from basically this point. Even though this is payday, I couldn't fit it all there. So from this point to the 14th. So the last thing that happens is on the 13th, and then estimate our variable spending as well. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let me put us on paycheck 1 and we will get started. All right, so this is my paycheck 1 page. My notebook is getting really thick and hard to write in, so I think I'm gonna have to leave it open like this, and you're going to see both sides, but I'll be working on this side mostly, so I'll zoom in a bit, and we're going to start with the income. Always start with the income. You want to know what's coming in. You want to know how much money you have available to make the proper decisions for your budget. So that's what we're working with right now. And so the first thing we have is my husband's military retirement. This is our first of the month checks that happen the first of every month. $1,759.30. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. If you have questions about budgeting or interested in my process and what I do, let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So paycheck 1, this is where we're starting. VA disability. My husband does get disability from the VA, and that is $2,353.39. All right. These numbers will more than likely change because of cost of living. I have seen some articles talking about it. I don't know exactly how much until it actually happens. So we will see changes in January and February because it takes a couple months to process all the cost of living sometimes. And that's okay. As long it normally doesn't go below what you're expecting. So that's pretty good. It goes up. Because inflation happens and everything goes up, and then it doesn't matter how much of a pay raise you get, it's never enough to cover the cost of things. It's ridiculous. My son gets SSI, and he pays us rent. That's $774. Dividends do end up in our checking account with the credit union, so I just add the pennies to that when I write out my actuals. And then this month, my husband gets 3 salary checks. One of them happens on the first of the month, simultaneously when all this money comes in. And this is why it's important to budget, especially if you are somebody that has several side hustles or a lot of income coming in different time periods of the month. It's important to really track those and make sure everything's being covered the way you want them to cover. So first salary check, $2,552.36. There may be adjustments in these salary checks this month because they're making sure enough tax is being taken out, or if too much is being taken out, they need to take out a little more. I've seen this fluctuate a few dollars, like $3 or $4 at the most towards the end of the year. Sometimes it's just a couple pennies. I don't know. It just depends. And I always start with 0 for other, but if we have other income or I make other deposits or there's a refund for some reason, this is where that goes. And it goes back into the budget. So there is that. We are going to use the calculator here, and we are going to total up how much paycheck 1 income is going to be. Okay, so we are expecting $7,439.05. That is what we're working with on the first of the paychecks of the month. This is not normal. It's normally in the 4,000 range, but that's just because of the extra salary check. Okay, moving on to the bills. There's a lot of bills that are happening. I've already listed them out to save some time, and I put my fixed expenses here and my variable expenses over here. So a lot of this happens like right on the first of every month. So it's just like all this money comes in and all this money goes out all at once, and it's pretty wild to watch, and I have to track it. If I don't track it, then I'll mess up on what I can and can't spend in my variable spending. So the mortgage is going to come out. It doesn't actually happen on the first, but I like to mark it on the first because that's when it's due. $2,450.17. It just takes 3 or 4 days to process. And if there's a weekend, good Lord, it takes forever to process. Spectrum is our internet cable phone, and that is $166.24. And then Roth IRA. This is going to be for the military retirement, VA disability, and written dividends. That combination right there is usually $171 for how I broke up my paycheck periods in order to cover saving for next year's Roth. Saving up for 2024. 2023 is already fully funded at last January, or past January, and next January I will fully fund the Roth again. They did raise it to $7,000 instead of $6,500, but I based these deposits savings transfers as $6,500, and then I was able to get a little extra money in November in order to go ahead and add that $500 difference. So that worked out pretty well. This time it's going to be for $171 for those first 3 normal paycheck one, and then the salary check is also going to be $171. So that's total of $300, and I'm looking for my numbers here. Let's do it this way. All right, $342. There we go. God's Pantry, that is getting $88. Added an extra tithing for this Christmas to a local pantry. I thought I was doing a local pantry in my city area, and this is more of a county, includes other cities and counties, which is not a problem. I love that I was able to give to that as well. But I really intended it for just my little city I'm in. And so I will be switching this out, but I'm going to pay here and donate here and donate to one I set up already. That is for my local area, so that's okay. I have, God Pantry is 87, not 88. And this is a tithe to the military retirement, God's Pantry and PHC, Pregnancy Help Center. That's 88. There we go. And then we have a salary tithe, which is $256. And then Paramount Plus, which is a subscription, which is $6.99. Greater Europe Missions is another tithe to missionaries that we just absolutely adore. I say that every time. I love them, and I thank God that we were able to support them. Water, I thought I would know what it is. Normally I would know my water bill, but I don't know my water bill right now. They're a little bit behind. So I'm going to move this God's Outreach up to water, and I'm going to move water over here. So I can have a budget amount and an actual amount. And I'll just leave this line blank, and if I want to use it for something else, I can. Or just leave it blank. It doesn't really matter. So that was God's Outreach. This is the organization I thought I was giving to, and when I did my research online, I realized, nope, I chose the wrong one that I intended. But it doesn't matter which outreach or pantry I give to. God's going to bless it, and I'm going to be okay with that. And so I am doing $88 here, because once this one drops, this one will start, and there we go. And that's how the next few months will be. Amazon Music, a subscription, $10.59. YouTube is 24 premium of $24.92. And HP Instant Ink, I'm going to put, here's another one I'm not sure about. Sorry about the clicking. I'm going to move HP Instant Ink over here because I did have somebody use my affiliate link, and I just want to make sure that if I'm not charged, which I shouldn't be, I got an email saying I wouldn't be, then I can mark 0 as the actual. So I'm going to remove Geico. This is why I love erasable pens. Oh my gosh. Changing minds at the last minute, Geico. And then I have car insurance, Geico, which is $173.87. Okay, there's that. Now I gotta work on the coil. Oh, I hate writing on the coil. All right, now I have to kind of work with it folded like this. All right, so grocery household, my budget for this time period, this is a full 2 weeks. I normally do not have Paycheck 1 as a full 2 weeks. It's usually a week, maybe 10 days, but this is going to be full 2 weeks, 14 days. And the grocery household budget for this time is $800. $400 a week. And then the restaurants are $300. That's $150 a week. And then another $300 for miscellaneous, $150 a week. And then gasoline is going to be $120. And I'm going to have $50 for copay, and I may change that. I may not. I don't know. Because we have some doctor's appointments, but it takes a while to get the bill, so they may not fall in the time period I think they are. And those copays for the doctors, they may happen in December and they may happen in January. So, yeah. And that's fine. So I'm budgeted. I always make it 0. If I have more copay or I spend more than what the copay is for the month, then I will use unbudgeted. If I don't, then it'll stay under copay and it'll be fine. Water, I'm going to put $50 here, and then whatever the actual will go right here. And then HP Instant Ink is usually $6.35. I can't remember when they said I wasn't going to be charged. I assumed it's in December because I got the notification in November, but just in case, I'm going to pop that in right there. That is what I have. And now I get to total these numbers up. Okay, I am back. So I have all my income and my fixed and variable expenses. Now we're going to total these two numbers up, and then I'm going to get a sticky note as soon as I figure out what I did with them. And I'm going to put down what my estimated balance forward is to Paycheck 2. So balance forward is any money left sitting in the checking account that is not assigned to variable or fixed expenses, and will be sitting in the checking account and can be part of Paycheck 2. So I always balance forward whatever it is from Paycheck 1 to Paycheck 2. Now I use, at the end of the month, any money left over actually goes into savings. It doesn't stay for the next month's budget because I don't necessarily need it. And it's a great way to get money into savings so you can have things for the future. So that is what I've been doing this year. It's been working really, really well, and it works well with my budgeting style. It may not work for everybody. And a lot of people that do have a little extra money like that, balancing forward, if they don't need it for bills for the next paycheck or the next month, that's a great way to do savings challenges if you like to do those things. I don't do savings challenges. I do tracking, savings tracking. So that's what I like to do. I'm just not a game person. I just don't like to do games. I don't even do board games. I can't even do those. So let's go ahead and total these numbers up. I have my little sticky notes here that I got to use up. Fixed amount was $3,950.53. I'm not even sure if you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm going to add the $1,626.35. There we go. So that gives me a total of $5,576.88 of spending that I am protecting out of this income that's coming in. Now I'm going to have a lot left over because usually this time period I don't get that extra salary check. So that salary check is just kind of like a little too early for my budget. So it's just going to kind of sit there in the bank account until the next paycheck. And then I might have to use some of it. So I'm going to be very cautious with that when I see, oh, I have $2,000 left over. I want to make sure I have enough covering each paycheck period to cover bills, especially the way they fell this month. And I've done that before. So let's go ahead and kind of write this out. So I have an income, right? I have an income of $7,439.05. I'm going to subtract the $5,576.88. And I'm going to try to do this without having a negative showing. So there we go. And we'll just kind of set this over here. Sorry about all the moving around, but when you're trying to keep the lights from glaring on the calculator, it does get a little complicated. All right, $7,493.05 minus $5,576.88. And that leaves $1,862.17. And this is a great time to go, wow, that's a lot of money left over, but how does that reflect in paycheck 2 and 3? My paycheck 3 actually is not really a whole lot. The rest of the bills would be paid here. I'm thinking about moving the sinking funds to paycheck 3. In fact, I've already decided that, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Sinking funds. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to that. Normally I would pay for it out of my paycheck 3 second salary check, which would be here in paycheck 2. But the problem with that is it's higher than normal, and it's because I'm fully funding something new. And I'm just going to move this Google.com up and leave this line blank, so that works. Again, I love my Frixon erasable pens. This keeps it where I can make it looking relatively neat, not completely, but enough. So yeah, this will give me the this gives me the estimated balance of what's left over. I'm going to just trim this off because it's a pretty long sticky note. There we go. I love the little florals though. It's so pretty. And then eventually I'll put a little sticker down here underneath all of these so I can put my actual balance forward, and this will take care of those bills. So, and you can kind of run this number and go, okay, I think I'm going to have this amount left over. Do I need this to cover this? Okay, put your salary check. Don't use a balance forward. Just use whatever the one main income that's coming in, and subtract these numbers out that you know is what you're going to spend, And is that enough to cover it, or do you need some of this money to cover it as well? That is, you can run your whole month paycheck to paycheck and kind of get a glance at what the future might hold. But it will have to be fluid because it will change and things will come up and change that. So that's why I like budgeting. I want, when those changes happen, I can make the adjustments as I go along. And that's what helps when you have paycheck to paycheck budgeting, and you can put a budget and an actual with that. So, yeah, I think I'm done here. So this is my paycheck one. Turned out pretty well. I'm excited for the month of December and all the celebrations and my son's birthday and all the things. And I cannot wait to see how the month turns out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.